Ready for more science? I'm not even waiting for an answer. We're pushing through and doing it anyway.
Have you ever wanted to make something really special for your grandmother's birthday when all of a sudden you realize you're out of a necessary ingredient, like flour? Today, I'm gonna show you how a little bit of science can keep you baking even when you don't have all the ingredients your recipe needs.
In her kitchen, the only thing hotter than the burner is the science. This is Chef Claire.
Hi, I'm Chef Claire, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own black bean brownies. Because these ingredients aren't an exact match, you may have to use a little bit of math to get your recipe right. The first and most important ingredient are your black beans. These black beans substitute perfectly for flour, making it gluten-free but still having the same starch content. This is important because starch helps bind the brownies together, making sure that you don't end up with watery brownies. The first step in this process is to puree your black beans, and for this, you need a food processor. Canned beans come with a lot of liquid inside them, so I'm gonna go ahead and drain my beans. Let's go ahead and puree them. You know when your beans are pureed when there aren't any whole beans left. It's time to start combining the ingredients. Make sure that you take out the blades so that way you don't have to risk hurting yourself. I'm gonna go ahead and add 3 eggs. Make sure that they're combined thoroughly. Break down the yolks completely, otherwise someone may have a not so tasty bite. If you're at home and you don't have eggs, applesauce can be a great substitute because they're full of polysaccharides, such as amylose, pectin, cellulose, and more that mimic the consistency of eggs. And it makes it vegan friendly. Add 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Absolutely do not taste it. It is not as good as it smells. Because I've drank it before. So
oh no!
It's a bad time. It smelled good. It smelled good. Go ahead and give that a quick whisk, but luckily vanilla extract is pretty easy to mix in. So our last wet ingredient is vegetable oil. But I'm gonna go ahead and substitute yogurt in for it because it's also a source of fat. Swapping out oil for yogurt not only helps reduce calories, but also gives you an extra dose of protein, vitamin B, and calcium. Because of its higher protein content, yogurt actually makes baked goods more filling. So, since the recipe called for 3 tablespoons of oil, I'm gonna go ahead and add 3 tablespoons of yogurt instead. I'm using Greek yogurt, but really you can use whatever yogurt you have at home. Keep in mind that whatever flavor your yogurt has, your brownies are gonna have too. And I'm gonna whisk this final wet ingredient in, and this consistency looks right to me. Let's do our dry ingredients. 1/4 cup of cocoa powder. This is what makes our brownies chocolatey. Whenever you're scooping dry ingredients, make sure that you level out the cup so that way you know you're getting the right amount. In baking, math is very important. Cooking gives you a little bit of leniency. You can add a little extra splash of this or a teaspoon of that. But with baking, you have to make sure that your measurements are exact or else the whole recipe will be thrown off. Unfortunately, sugar is the one thing that we can't substitute out because it brings the whole flavor together. 2/3 a cup of sugar. And to finish off my dry ingredients, I'm gonna add a pinch of salt and 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. Baking powder is what's known as a leavening agent, which helps your brownies rise in the oven. Nobody wants flat, thin brownies, and baking powder makes sure that you have your full, risen, and delicious brownies. We can combine the wet and the dry ingredients. I like to add my dry ingredients little by little so that way it's not too much at once to mix in. I pre-grease my pan, but make sure that if you're doing this at home to grease your pan with either butter and flour or some cooking spray. That way your brownies don't stick to the pan. Let's go ahead and add our brownie batter. I preheated my oven to 350 degrees before I got started. Your brownies just aren't gonna cook right if you put them in a cold oven while it's heating up. Trust me, I know. You wanna make sure that the center of your brownie batter is a little bit jiggly. This may look delicious, but do not eat raw batter. It can contain dangerous bacteria such as E. coli and salmonella, neither of which are delicious additives to your brownies. So make sure that you wait till your treats are fully baked before you eat them. I baked these, I plated them, and now let's go ahead and give them a try. Delicious. You would never know that these are black bean brownies. I'm Chef Claire. Thank you so much for baking with me, and I'll see you next time. Don't tell Grandma I made these. They're too tasty.
If you're watching this, you must have really liked the video. Make sure you follow and subscribe, and check out these other videos that are even better. No, really. I've seen this one over 100 times.